Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Terrier TV's recap of the 88th Academy Awards. I'm Peter Cabranes.
And I'm Catherine Barron. 2015 was filled with some fascinating and touching films. The Oscars did a great job of showcasing the best of the best.
But first, there's no Oscars without the red carpet. Katie, who wore it best last night and who looked absolutely ridiculous?
I have to say one of my favorites was Jennifer Lawrence. I'm a big fan of hers, and her black dress, it really showed up and popped. It's also very different from what she usually wears,
Right.
so I liked that. I did like Charlize Theron's, mostly because of her accessories, her necklace, her $3.7 million necklace. It was a nice touch. It was a nice addition, I think.
Saoirse Ronan, or however you pronounce her name, looked fantastic with the whole homage to Ireland. And Brie Larson with that very simple purple dress.
I agree.
A lot of people were hating on Alicia Vikander with that I don't know, yellow-ish thing that she was wearing. I thought it was gorgeous.
It didn't look bad when she presented, but when she walked the red carpet, I think it was a miss.
Right, so who didn't look that good?
Heidi Klum.
Heidi, yeah.
And her purple, but it was Marchesa. I don't understand how it was turned out so awful.
It looked like she took it off of her window like drapes and just wrapped it around her body. Kerry Washington, fantastic actress, but she was wearing a little too much leather, whatever that was, around her person.
It was
just
different.
looked a little weird. And I know Charlotte Rampling, she's like 70 years old. But what was with those pockets in the dress?
If the pockets weren't there, it wouldn't have been that bad.
Yeah.
The print was overwhelming, and to add the pockets like that,
Looked ridiculous.
it did.
I know everybody else looked okay. The men looked good.
The men looked good.
Kevin Hart in his little flashy
Yes.
tuxedo.
I know. Mark Ruffalo.
Purple. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. I mean, he totally knocked. I would have liked it green because he's Hulk.
Well, I don't think people care about that
that's
really.
true.
So.
No one does. But the show itself, I mean, everyone got into the building and the show started. They did that beautiful opening montage. With
I
all
loved
the films.
it.
Yeah, it was pretty beautiful. Chris Rock, great monologue, great opening piece. Was it a little too much? I mean, some people are saying that he went a little too far with the jokes. I think he was dead on. Yeah, he might have crossed some lines, but you have to when you're doing a show like this.
I think he handled it very well. With everything that's going on and all of the tension and everything, he handled it very well, and he made it he eased it, I think. I agreed.
I love the joke where he mentions he saw about 15 black people in that montage, just poking fun at how, the whole Oscar is white situation. And throughout the whole show, they went after that.
They did. It never stopped.
Did it feel like it was too much?
No, because it was very subtle. It wasn't like in your face and thrown at you all during the show. It was just little subtle hints here and there.
There was a joke about lynching that he mentioned about his, African Americans in the 60s had more important things to fight for than just a movie award, like your grandmother being lynched. Some people in the crowd got a little silent after that, but he picked it right up with more of the great jokes. My favorite joke had to have been the Jack Black montage.
With Angela Bassett.
Yes, poking fun at Will Smith. I don't know, it landed for me. What was like a memorable joke from Chris last night?
I mean, I have to agree. I liked when he interviewed the people at the movie theater and asked them about if they saw Bridge of Spies or Spotlight, and they had no idea what those were.
Yeah, that was genius. Of course, they all saw Straight Outta Compton, which was a great film. Why not see Compton in Compton, of course. The Oscars, never shy of showing anything political or anything social. Obviously, we saw that last night with the whole Oscars is too white, but of course we saw that with Leo and his finally wins the Oscar. Let's just talk about that for a second. Leo finally wins. But talking about climate change, Gaga's beautiful performance, everything was political, and for a good reason, of course. The best place to talk about politics on a world stage, or at least a national stage, besides obviously at a primary, would be at an event like this. What stood out for you that they talked about?
I think Gaga's performance really was the highlight of the show and the underlying tones of everything. I was shocked a little bit that Spotlight got it, but their message is loud and clear, for sure. Other than that, I think the Donald Trump snippets
Yeah.
here and there.
Yeah, those were great.
They were pretty good.
I mean, Gaga's performance, especially having the victims of sexual harassment, sexual assault, being there, really hit you hard. I mean, you're watching it, you know the song's powerful, but I didn't really think that they were gonna like hit it home, because whether you like to believe it or not, we all know someone of sexual assault or sexual violence. You know, whether we know or not, we know someone, and I think that moment was like the most touching and most profound moment of the night. She totally stole it. I kind of forgot Leo won at one point. Rewatching it. The other great moment was Charmine Obad Chinoy, or I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing her name, but that powerful speech about women's rights.
And she's amazing. And what she's done to draw attention to these huge issues for women is amazing. And even now, laws are being changed because of what she made. And that's what she tried to express to people, how important film and documentaries are. Even though it's not this huge, big budget, it still does so much for the world and for people. So I was very impressed with what she had to say.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, it's not that she didn't have to say it, she had to say those things. Everyone in that room has the power to make change. And film is such an amazing tool to make change around the world. And it just starts with a very simple movement. And she's already doing, like you said, there's already making change in her home country. It's absolutely an amazing thing to do. So let's move away from the political spot, move away from the social movements that they were talking about. I don't know. I saw Mad Max. I think Mad Max is an amazing film. But 6 awards? No. Really? Like, that was great editing in that film, great sound. Okay, I'll give it that. But to win all those awards, I think that was a profound statement, especially for a genre film like it was.
For 6, and to beat out all of those other great films that were nominated too.
Star Wars.
I know, Star Wars was a big one. It was a little disappointing. After a while, I was like, oh, I don't want to watch if they're going to keep winning, and nobody else has a chance.
Like Louis C.K. even made a great joke about it. He's reading the answer, and he goes, Mad Max, and it was a foreign film or something.
For animated.
Yeah, it was
films,
animated. Yeah. So Mad Max stole the night, really. But Ex Machina, another film that, I think it was $16 million budget. Half of it went towards visual effects. It beat out Star Wars, Mad Max, and a couple other films for visual effects. Was that surprising to you?
A little bit, but I think a lot of people, they didn't hear about it, they didn't see it. It was very under the radar, and it was unexpected. This was the first Oscar that any of those people had ever won.
Right, that's very true.
So it was huge and quite a statement that they won too.
I mean, guys, if you haven't seen Ex Machina, definitely check it out. It's one of the best films of last year. And talking about, surprise winners and possible snubs, I really do think, and I know you're going to hate me on this because we've had arguments about who should have won Best Supporting Actor. Mark Rylance in Bridge of Spies, great film, good performance, but it wasn't Oscar worthy for me. And I know you have a lot to say about that guy.
No, I just think he did a fantastic job. I know he is not Mark Ruffalo to you.
Or Tom Hardy. No?
No, not a big fan. But I do think his performance was amazing. I mean, he did a great job, okay? He really did. He really got into character. He brought him to life. I mean, so did the other ones. It was a hard category, honestly.
And I think it was lead actress with, I'm sorry, Jennifer Lawrence shouldn't have been on that list.
I disagree again.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think she should have been at least nominated. I mean, I don't think she should have won, but I'm glad she was nominated.
Glad she didn't win, because if she would have won, I would have caused an uproar on social media.
She's done better. I mean, it's not her best, I don't think.
It definitely is.
It wasn't, so I definitely understand.
So, with Brie Larson, we're gonna get to like the top films now, the top awards. Brie Larson in Room. Actually, before we get to Brie Larson, that little boy.
Amazing.
How adorable is he? I mean,
He's
he is
adorable.
absolutely
and his
amazing.
voice, and he's so articulate. And how old is he?
He's 9.
That's what I was gonna say, 8 or 9. I mean,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
He's a little too short for 9, but I don't know.
That's why he had the stools.
Get some
That's
protein.
why Chris Rock came
Yeah,
out
yeah, yeah.
with the stools for him.
The cute little joke he made with Chris about him loving him in Madagascar
As the zebra.
Genius. But again, Brie Larson. You saw Room?
Yes.
Right. Much deserved win.
She was the whole film.
Yeah.
I mean, basically.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I agree. She definitely should. I mean, she won everything before that, so it was a
True. Every
huge
award.
telltale sign that she was going to get the Oscar, but I think she definitely deserved it.
Definitely did. I know we're gonna get to the big one, but Alejandro Inarritu, sorry, again winning Best Director. And a lot of people out there, and I know a lot of people in the back, doing the show back there, they didn't like Revenant that much. I think it was one of the most profound films of last year. Yeah, you guys know who I'm talking about back there. But, was it that good? I mean, I might be just going crazy. I think it was spellbinding. It was amazing.
It's just not my type of
Is that
film.
your type of film?
I think he did a very good job with it, though. But it's just not my
Not your
favorite.
film?
No.
Have you seen, did you see Birdman last year?
Yes,
Or-
I saw Birdman. Birdman, I could see more as to why he got it for
Okay,
Birdman.
Okay.
Yeah.
As long as you see that.
I do.
So, let's go to the big one, because 6 tries this man has had. He's done better, he's done some of the best movies ever made. Leonardo DiCaprio finally wins his best Oscar, trophy. I mean, I sat in my room watching this, just going, if they don't give it to him, he's never going to win this. Because with that type of performance, and I know there wasn't a lot of dialogue in that film, but I mean, he had to get it this year. I mean, did you think it was worth it to give it to him this year?
I thought he definitely deserved it, honestly. He really got into character. Things that he did for that role were crazy.
I mean, just in case you guys don't know what he did, I mean, he literally slept inside of a dead horse. Literally, it was a living, at one point, they killed it, or it died. He cut it open, slept inside. He also ate raw bison, chilling temperatures. The whole cast and crew had to go through that. It was an experience unlike no other, and Leo truly deserved it. But the most amazing thing was his speech.
yes.
It was...
And they didn't cut him off.
They didn't.
Not one musical note was.
No, it was a half hour over, and they kept him going because he was talking about something so powerful. Obviously, climate change is something that is affecting the whole world, and Leo's at the forefront. He's one of the few actors that are out there in the forefront, trying to combat this disgusting thing that is going on on the planet.
And he always has been.
Yeah, he always has.
He always has been.
Yeah.
So kudos for him for taking it even further.
Yeah, I mean, Leo is like, goals for a lot of people. He's life goals for some. But for me, the last award we're going to talk about here is, of course, Best Picture. By far better than any film that came out last year. Spotlight wins Best Picture and is, of course, hands down, a tour de force of acting and just pure, gut-wrenching stuff, because it's dealing with some of the hardest material you could deal with in a film. Child molestation in the church. I mean, it's absolutely disgusting stuff. And they managed to make a film feel, it didn't feel like a long film. It wasn't dragged out. And it was just absolutely perfect. Did you think Spotlight deserved it, or did you think maybe The Martian or something else should have
I
thrown in
liked
there?
The Martian. I thought The Martian was, it was just such a different story, and it had a lot of that could be possible one day, and so it was
Yes.
fascinating to look at it through that perspective. But I also, Spotlight was amazing. I'm a little biased. I want to be a reporter. I want to be a journalist. So to see this win for Best Picture, it meant a lot to me.
It truly did. I mean, because Bridge of Spies, Spielberg, I love you, man, but the movie
And
didn't
Tom
belong
Hanks.
on that list. Mad Max was worthy of being on there. Revenant was worthy. Room, Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Every other movie was worthy of being
I
there. but it's just, I don't know, just Spotlight had that message, and that's the thing the Oscars loves
Right.
very much. They love to pick a film that has a message, and this year, I mean, this year there was a lot of messages, and it was a lot of, we're in a hot year of politics, and it was shown at this year's
Yes,
Oscars.
it was.
Was there something that they didn't have or they didn't do at the Oscars this year that maybe they should have done? Maybe a certain performance they should have focused on, or had a certain performer be there?
No, I think it was
It was
well done.
Yeah.
I think they did just enough because you can't overdo it, honestly.
Right. Everyone that was there, I mean, the presenters, actually, a moment I just remembered was Russell Crowe and Gosling. That was one of the funniest moments of last night. Well, it looks like that does it for us here. We had a blast talking about the biggest year in Hollywood last night. And for us here at Terrier TV, goodbye, and see you next time.